What exactly happens to all that blood, sweat, and iron you've been pushing when you finally cross the big 60? Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're tearing down the clinical science behind why guys like us suddenly hit a brick wall, and way more importantly, how to smash right through it. We're going to cover 5 hidden under the radar tricks to crank up your muscle growth after 60. But I gotta give you a heads up. I'm keeping that 5th trick completely under wraps until the very end of the explainer, because it is an absolute downright game changer. Why is your muscle literally vanishing into thin air even though you're grinding hard in the gym? Well, it's this nasty little condition called sarcopenia, basically age-related muscle loss. Man, I remember exactly when it hit me. I slammed into a massive wall right around age 59. I was putting in the hours, grinding out the exact same routines I did in my 30s, but I was literally watching my hard-earned gains just slip away. It was terrifying, honestly. Kind of felt like my own body was betraying me. But look, the science tells us this is absolutely not a life sentence. It's a condition, and conditions, they respond to the right interventions. The clinical reality is pretty harsh. Right after we turn 30, our muscle mass starts dropping by about 3 to 8% every single decade. And once you cross 60, that curve gets way steeper. It's just a physiological fact that your fast-twitch muscle fibers, the ones responsible for your raw power and that dense, athletic, jacked look, they atrophy almost 3 times faster than your slow-twitch fibers. But here is the light at the end of the tunnel. The research proves we can entirely flip the script. We just need a fresh, totally scientifically backed protocol. Now, before we get into the nuts and bolts, you gotta stick with me. Like I promised, that 5th trick is locked away until the end of this explainer. It's a completely invisible, highly guarded technique that actually generates up to 60% greater muscle activation using the exact same physical effort. Seriously, no extra weight required. Just keep that in your back pocket as we build our foundation here. All right. Concept 1, the anabolic resistance trap. Let's get into it. This right here is the physiological roadblock every single older guy hits, whether he knows it or not. It's like an invisible force field stopping you from seeing the payoff of your heart work. So the absolute key is understanding this clinical definition. Anabolic resistance simply means your body's growth threshold gets cranked way up as you age. Think about it. When you were 35, a standard workout sent a loud, screaming signal to your muscles to rebuild and grow. Boom, done. But after 60, that exact same workout sends a whisper. Your muscles still hear it, but they just kind of shrug. There's no urgency. Those old signals simply do not work anymore. You've almost certainly heard the mainstream BS advice, right? Oh, you're over 60 now, take it easy, lift light weights for high reps, gotta protect those joints. Listen to me. That advice is actively sabotaging your gains. Because your anabolic threshold is so much higher now, those light weights don't even come close to crossing the threshold to trigger real muscle growth. Your body literally reads it as a signal to just maintain or worse, lose the tissue. We need to live in the clinical 5% reality, intelligent, heavy loads that absolutely force your body to adapt. Which brings us to secret 1, the intensity threshold. We've got to send a signal that is loud enough to smash right over that new higher barrier. If you're messing around with light weights, you are leaving some serious gains on the table. We have to completely change the stimulus. Think about a classic heavy compound movement, like a strict overhead press. Safe, heavy mechanical tension is the required, non-negotiable stimulus you need to drive myofibrillar hypertrophy. That's a fancy term for the actual growth of dense, tight contractile fibers. You need to be working in that heavy 3 to 6 repetition range, right around 75 to 85% of your 1 rep max. Listen, this isn't about ego lifting in the gym. It's about sending a biological mandate to your body so it literally has no choice but to rebuild. This data makes it painfully clear. If you check out the numbers for high reps versus no exercise at all, you see this rapid, scary drop in type 2 fast-twitch fibers. Those crucial fibers just vanish 3 times faster if you don't hit them with heavy compound lifts. But look at the heavy compounds data. That's where you see preservation and actual growth. You absolutely must hit that 3 to 6 rep range. It's the only way to capture the mechanical tension required to save your most powerful muscle fibers from wasting away. Okay, moving on to secret 2, the leucine trigger. So we fix the training stimulus, right? But that signal won't mean a thing without the raw materials to back it up. And the standard protein advice they hand out to older guys is honestly dangerously inadequate. Here's the hard truth. You need 35 to 40 grams of top-tier quality protein per meal. Let me repeat that, not per day, per meal. Nibbling on 15 to 20 grams of protein here and there throughout the day does absolutely zilch to trigger muscle protein synthesis in an older, anabolically resistant body. You have to blast past that threshold in a single sitting to flip the switch. Anything less, and you're just missing the boat. To really get why that 40-gram mark is make or break, we need to talk about leucine. Leucine is an essential amino acid, and I want you to think of it exactly like the ignition key to your car. Without a solid 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine hitting your system all at once, your muscle-building engine simply will not start. I don't care how much total protein you shove down your throat that day. You have got to turn the key. Let's jump to Secret 3, Strategic Deload Recovery. Now, this is going to directly challenge that old-school, hardcore, no days off gym bro mindset. For men over 60, grinding every single day doesn't build muscle, it actively chews up your hard-earned gains. So the game plan here is precise, planned action. First up, you're training 3 to 4 days a week maximum. Seriously, more is not better. Second, every 4 to 6 weeks, you are scheduling a mandatory deload week where you slash your volume by 50%. And third, drop the weight on the bar by about 30%. What does this do? It clears out all that deep systemic fatigue. It totally stops the stress hormone cortisol from cannibalizing your lean muscle tissue and packing visceral fat around your gut. I really want this to sink in for you. The week you train less is the week your body builds the most muscle. Going back to my own journey for a second, my anabolic window was practically glued shut. I was basically pouring water into a bucket with a giant hole in the bottom because I was just chronically overtraining. Figuring out how to actually step back, rest, and deload, that patched the hole. It actually finalized the progress that my constant, heavy grinding had left totally incomplete. All right, Secret 4, the gut gateway. This is the invisible link that almost nobody in the fitness industry is talking about. You could have two guys eating the exact same diet, pushing the exact same weights, and getting wildly different results. Why? It all comes down to their gut health. As we get older, our natural digestive enzyme production takes a nosedive. That means you aren't even absorbing the expensive food you eat. To pry this gateway open, you need a few clinical tools. Number 1, get 30 grams of diverse dietary fiber every single day. Number 2, get at least 1 serving of fermented foods. Think kefir or kimchi to support amino acid absorption. And number 3, pop a broad-spectrum digestive enzyme right before your 2 biggest protein meals. Check this out. Clinical research actually shows that adding those broad-spectrum digestive enzymes to your heavy protein meals can crank up your amino acid absorption efficiency by up to 25% in guys over 60. Your gut is literally the gateway to your gains. If it's locked shut, all that pricey protein you're eating is literally just going down the toilet. And finally, Secret 5, the mind-muscle-neural link. Okay, listen up. This is that closely guarded locker room secret I promised you at the very beginning, and it is pure neuroscience. If you're just hoisting weights from point A to point B while daydreaming about what you're going to eat for dinner, you are wasting your time. Here is the exact step-by-step neural pre-activation sequence. Step 1. Physically touch and squeeze the target muscle for a full 10 seconds before you even grab the barbell. This literally wakes up the neural pathway. Step 2. During the rep, I want you to mentally focus exclusively on the muscles shortening on the way up and lengthening under total control on the way down. Step 3. Keep that intense, absolutely undivided focus locked in for the entire 30 to 45 seconds of the set. So why do we go through all this trouble? Because of this crazy number right here, 60%. A massive study in the European Journal of Sports Science proved that deliberate, locked-in mental focus on the target muscle generates up to 60% greater muscle activation from the exact same physical effort. Think about that. More motor units recruited means way more fiber stimulated, which equals a massive growth response without lifting a single extra pound. It is literally mind-blowing. At the end of the day, our ultimate goal here is functional independence. And guys, that is built, it's not given to you. You now have the exact clinical, scientific blueprint to rebuild your body from the ground up, hitting that intensity threshold, turning the leucine trigger, utilizing strategic deloading, opening up your gut gateway, and locking in that neural mind-muscle link. You've got the map to patch the holes and totally reverse the decline. So, I'm gonna leave you with this one final question. Are you ready to build something great? Your biology isn't broken, man. The old information you were fed was. It's time to drop the excuses and start putting these 5 tricks to work today. Do me a favor, drop a comment down below right now and let me know. Which of these 5 secrets surprised you the most? Keep learning, train smart, and I'll see you next time on The Explainer.